From Colorado State University, this is the Emmy Award-winning Campus Television. Owned and operated by the Colorado State Student Body, Campus Television, covering the news, sports, arts, and entertainment of campus.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Weston Hubbard.
And I am Kenneth Frederick. Welcome back to the 1990s. For those of you who've been living under a rock, the current year is 1995. The 90s have been a heck of a decade so far, and we here at CTV can't wait to see what the years ahead bring us. But before we get into the news, we thought it might be a good idea to reflect back on the decade so far.
To start, the movie scene's been absolutely booming, with box office hit coming one after another. We wouldn't have made it this far without movies like The Lion King and Braveheart to keep us entertained. Fashion, as always, is also taking a turn towards the interesting, with a rise in crazy colors and fly denim outfits. We've never seen such radical fashion, with new fads coming and going at any given moment. After the newest in fashion, we had to show you why there's never been a better time to eat like a kid. Just take a look at some of these new foods like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Fruit Gushers. Our first new president of the decade is Bill Clinton. Hopefully he won't do anything too bad. The world economy is on the rise, and we've never seen such prosperity. It's safe to say that things are going pretty great for everyone's wallets right now. Of course, it hasn't all been easy. We've had to deal with superstorms and natural disasters alike, taking with them millions of dollars in damages. Something called climate change seems to be on the rise, according to the UN, who just recognized it as a threat. And I may be out there on a limb with this one, but I think the new fad of the internet is on the rise. How cool is it that we can send messages to our friends without a phone? It's got to be an idea that somebody's going to run with.
Well, that's been a brief recap of the decade so far. But there's always more news to cover, and we've got it all right here at CTV 11.
There's a virus spreading around here in 1995. It's called Ebola, and it's looking to be really deadly. 244 reported deaths in South Africa have been brought to the attention so far. Doctors right now appear to be looking for a way to combat this disease, which is good, because the last thing we need in this world is any sort of pandemic to happen. I mean, can you imagine that? A pandemic occurring in the world? What would we even do? I feel like I'd have to wear one of those like surgical masks or something that the doctors have to wear during surgery. Ridiculous. Hopefully a cure can be found sometime soon.
Well, folks, the trial of the century is finally over. Otherwise known as the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. After nearly 11 months of debate and a live car chase watched by over 95 million people, the biggest court case of the past year has reached a verdict. On October 31st, Simpson was acquitted of 2 counts of murder. According to USA Today, the case has been described as the most publicized event in criminal trial history.
Whack. Ever like to get home from a long day at the good old 9 to 5 and throw on one of your favorite VHS movies? Because I know I do. But those days are of the past with these newfangled DVDs. Are looking to rock the world. There are these little disc-like objects, almost thin as paper, that can store an entire movie on them. And then it can go back and play it and rewatch it and everything. Now, of course, you're going to need a DVD player, but the crisp image on these things is to die for. Can't wait to get Back to the Future on this thing and watch it back and back again.
Those DVDs got me getting jiggy with it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Guinness World Records has just recognized Jean Clement as the world's oldest person. A French woman born in 1875? It's fair to say that Clement has been through it all. She was even there to see the Eiffel Tower being built. She was given an award and declared the world's oldest person at 114 years old. Fun fact, she's older than sliced bread, took up fencing at the ripe old age of 85, and has now even appeared in a music video called La Farandole. Well, all that I can say is that I sure hope that I'm still kicking butt like Jean when I'm over 100 years old.
How did it take them so long to slice bread? I don't get it. Stick around anyways, Rams, because we have your 1997 CSU flood report with Lauren Gardner.
Let's hope CSU puts in some kind of anti-flooding system in the future to prevent this from happening ever again.
We're the Kids Club kids, we just wanna have fun. The Kids Club kids to us, BK's #1.
The Burger King Kids Club, where it's cool to be a kid.
Burger King has fun treasures for you.
I'm sure I'll bury the treasure around here.
It's your favorite Disney characters like Goofy, Darkwing Duck, and Bonkers on cool beach toys. You can collect all 5 one in every kids meal only at Burger King.
Gosh, maybe I grabbed the wrong map.
The Burger King Kids Club is a cool place.
Hey there, Rams. My name is Morgan Gardner, as if my name would be Lauren, and I got the weather for you tonight, so let's check it out. Right now we are at 59 degrees, nice and clear outside, a little bit of wind, but nothing too insane there. And we're looking for that tonight and tomorrow as well. Here are our overnight lows, as we can see over the state. Over in Denver, you can see that we have 44 degrees, nice and chilly, but not too chilly, so we won't be getting any snow or anything tonight. And as you can see over here in Vail, 34 degrees, Grand Junction over there at 41 degrees, and over here we have 32 in Lyman and 30 degrees in Sterling. And as we move into tomorrow's highs, we're going to be seeing nice and sunny spring weather finally. 74 degrees in Denver, 78 in Pueblo, 70s across the state really, except for Telluride over there sitting at 53 degrees, and Gunnison at 59. But luckily, again, we're having a nice and sunny week. And tomorrow's forecast, you can see that we're going to be at 74 degrees with a low of 40. It's going to be a little cloudy in the morning, but it's going to open up and be nice and bright all day long. A little bit of wind, 10 miles an hour, and sunset at 7:20. And as you can see here, we have record-breaking tropical winds and water, which ravaged through Fort Collins this weekend, causing immense damage across the area. The heavy downpours of rain, totaling 20 inches in less than 48 hours, insane, left many cars, homes, trees, and buildings submerged under gallons of water. Spring Creek's banks swelled, sending muddy debris-ridden water down College Avenue towards unsuspecting residents. 5 lives were lost and over 50 people injured. Many CSU buildings were flooded and destroyed as well. The Morgan Library's foundation exploded and windows caved in from the force of intense floodwaters. The LSC also faced rising lagoon waters that burst through the basement's glass windows. Other buildings were also destroyed as well. CSU expects to spend millions of dollars to fix and repair the damaged buildings on campus and aid surrounding communities. But luckily, this week's weather will be a lot warmer. As you can see here, nice and sunny throughout the whole week. 74 degrees tomorrow, 75 on Saturday, 78 on Sunday, 80 on Monday and Tuesday, sitting at 76 degrees. I'm so excited for this spring weather. I am tired of all the clouds and all the rain and the snow as well. It's been a wild year for us, but hopefully we can get back into the sunny weather here. Stick around, Rams. That's all the weather we have for you. I'm Morgan Gardner.
It's alive.
The only food known with a mind of its own.
Afternoon, sir.
Welcome back to the 1990s, Rams.
Let's finish getting all caught up with everything going on in this decade.
Crazy new technology looks to be on the rise, and your home personal computer, or as the kids are calling it these days, PC, might want the newest operating system on the market, Windows 95. No, these old men are not dancing for no reason. They're dancing for the release of Windows 95, a revolutionary technology program meant to make your computer be better than ever. This technology is so inventive and so creative, it had to be a genius that came up with all of it. That genius, of course, being Bill Gates.
Whether it's the Microsoft network or electronic mail or sharing files.
If you don't know Bill Gates, that's fine. He's a fairly relatively new guy on the scene of electronics and all that nonsense, who's here to blow your mind with some crazy new stuff. Everyone, we're super lucky. We got hands-on with Windows 95 here. As you can see all this cool stuff. Look at that cool logo in the background. Microsoft Windows 95. And there's some cool stuff. A recycle bin to throw your stuff away. Some folders titled Stuff. And even Internet Explorer. Let's check that out. How I got here is I typed in www.google.com and it brought me to this amazing website. It's super fast. Internet Explorer is extremely fast. I can search anything I want on the internet. Watch this. News. And look at all the latest news, like what I'm giving you right now. The news. Incredible. It's new. It's the news. Honestly, this is pretty cool. I could search news. I have no idea how they can get any more innovative than this, but wow, it's going to be crazy to see how this newfangled technology and computers can get from here. But now let's go to our live reporter, Samantha Medley, because I hear she's got the latest on the royal family's not-so-royal divorce. Oh.
Thanks, Weston. Well, all you cool cats and kittens, it's official. Prince Charles and Princess Diana have officially gotten a divorce. We all remember when the couple separated 4 years ago and we were totally bugging. Hopefully, despite the divorce, we will still continue to see her iconic red carpet looks. I mean, take a look at how banging her Met Gala look was recently. Despite no longer being a princess, she will always be the queen of our hearts. Back to you, Weston.
Sorry, it really got to me. Ever think you're seeing double when you're about to see twins? What if you saw clones? That's right, two scientists by the names of Ian Wilmot and Keith Campbell have done just that. They've cloned sheep. The two sheep, which are exactly the same through DNA from one another, from what we understand, are named Megan and Morag. This process uses embryo cells in order to properly replicate the DNA and create the cloning. Hopefully they never find a way to make this work with humans, because otherwise you're going to have to deal with two of this guy.
Let us all hope that that never happens. Airplanes, they're one heck of a fly way to get around. And for Rams trying to get home this spring break, there's a new way to travel the skies. After nearly 16 months of delays, a new international airport was just opened up right outside of Denver that looks to have like 1 million flights a year. You may want to be careful though. Workers from the construction of the airport say that the buildings and tunnels were built everywhere underground. Some even tied the strange, weird buildings with the stonemasons. Some old, crazy people organization that goes way back.
Don't ever talk about them like that again. For the first time in history, the Dow Jones has closed over 5,000. The Dow Jones is a big part of the stock market for all of you who might not know all that about it. And when it finishes higher, the market is starting to look up. Nowadays, it feels like there's just so many stock options to invest with Apple with their fancy Macintosh computers against these Windows ones. These pocket phones or cell phones are growing crazy. Crazy technology to all of us, but these may actually help with the market, and maybe the Dow Jones will even finish above 6,000 one day. Who knows?
No way that could ever come crashing down. Valery Polyakov set the world record, ironically, for his record-breaking stint of over 430 days outside of the planet. After spending over a year in space, Polyakov showed the world exactly what that we human beings are really capable of. But upon landing, he even refused to be carried to a nearby chair. Instead, just walking himself over to the chair as if he was bold as brass. And he was just showing us that if we landed on Mars today, we could still walk after not feeling that sweet, sweet gravity for such a long time. His mission showed the entire human race that long-distance space travel is really possible.
Mars is a myth. Well, Rams, that's all the news we have for you tonight in the 90s.
But stay here. Brendan Fairbairn's got all the latest on the 1998 NFL Draft featuring possible stars Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf.
Peyton Manning, my God.
kids are after me Lucky Charm. But thanks to me red balloon, I've made a clean getaway. Well, looky there, a shooting star, and it's heading this way. A deserted island. Well, at least I can eat me Lucky Charms in peace.
Wow, the marshmallowy delicious.
Oh no, more kids! I've got to get away. But how? There's a big star-shaped hole in my balloon. Maybe there's an answer in me magic rainbow. Let's see. Moons, hearts, diamonds, stars. Oh, did I say stars? Magic rainbow, make a match. Turn that star into a patch. Take me away, star balloon. Whoops!
Kids, now for the first time ever, it's a marshmallow inside a marshmallow.
The stars in the balloon. Wow. Doubly delicious.
It's the magical part of a complete breakfast.
New in specially marked boxes of Lucky Charms.
How's it going, Rams fans? I'm Brendan Fairbairn. The 1998 NFL Draft is coming up in 2 weeks. Is Tennessee quarterback Peyton Manning or Washington State's Ryan Leaf going number one? I have the answers for you on tonight's show. Plus, I'll recap the tremendous run the Lady Hoopers from Fort Collins had this year and how they fared in the Big Dance. So with that all being said, let's bounce into tonight's stories. There's a lot of talent in this year's NFL draft class on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, marked by the four most recent Heisman finalists, who could easily land as the 98's top 4 picks. Like always though, the main headline remains the same. Which quarterback are the Indianapolis Colts going to bank their future on with the number 1 overall pick? Is it the golden boy out of UT, Peyton Manning? Or the dynamic athlete out of Wazoo, Ryan Leaf? Before we get into it though, let me say this. Whoever they end up taking, the youngster will be stepping into a good situation. With playmakers like Marvin Harrison and Marshall Faulk in the backfield and on the outside. But after a dismal 13-3 season that saw only 10 passing touchdowns from longtime Colt Jim Harbaugh, hard to imagine he'll ever be a coach. One thing is for sure, the pick has to be a quarterback. Either one of these top QBs can provide an instant boost to this struggling Colts team and bring them back to life in a competitive AFC East. So who should Colts GM Bill Polian take? Let's start with the Tennessee kid. He's coming off a legendary senior season at UT that put him at second in Heisman voting. Right behind, University of Michigan's defensive back Charles Woodson, finishing with an SEC record 36 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and 3,819 passing yards in his final year. But even with a storied career in Tennessee, the biggest question mark for Manning has to be his athleticism. At the NFL Combine, he only had a 24-inch vertical. To put that in context, the average lineman was 28 inches. But where Manning has an edge over Leaf is in his intelligence and his work ethic. He can read defenses and go through progression on an NFL level, a skill that not many other guys in this draft class have. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with his father, former NFL quarterback Archie Manning, who has provided great mentorship for his second oldest son throughout his young career. And hey, his dedication for the game might even be a bit extreme, with multiple coaches and players commenting that he can be too serious at times. On tape, Manning is the ultimate competitor, and you can't go wrong with picking him. He'll put everything he has to turning the team who picks him around, and is definitely the safer choice for Indy. But on the other hand, we have Washington State's Ryan Leaf, who finished third in Heisman voting behind Peyton Manning, despite having a very similar final season, with 34 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and 3,968 yards through the air, which were all school records. But what's really hurting Leaf's draft stock is his weight and lack of work ethic. When he stepped on the scale at the NFL Combine, he weighed in at a ridiculous 261 pounds, 20 pounds of what he usually plays at. That definitely doesn't go well with front office evaluating Kim. He's also been under fire for his mental preparedness and mechanics, but nonetheless, he still came through and put up some eye-popping numbers in a top Pac-10 conference despite being overweight, leading the Cougars to their first Rose Bowl appearance in over 60 years. When you look at the film, Leaf surely has the higher ceiling. When it comes to his athletic gifts, with a rocket for an arm and more mobility in the pocket, and also you have to note how relaxed he plays the game. Peyton has a tendency to press and create this snowball effect of bad plays. In the end, neither one of these guys are scrubs whatsoever. It is hard to imagine that either one of them will turn out like Rick Meyer and Heath Schuler. They'll be busts. But if I had to make my pick, I'd choose Peyton, because I'm taking work ethic and intelligence over physical attributes any day. Manning is also not that far behind Leaf physically. If the Colts want to turn their franchise around right away, they should draft Manning. It's honestly a no-brainer. When the NFL draft gets closer and closer, that means that the college basketball season has just reached its conclusion. And for the CSU women's basketball team, they had a season to remember, going a school record 33-3 and taking home a Western Athletic Conference title. And despite losing to the UCLA Bruins in the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament last week, they still finished as number 7 in the final AP poll of the season, with head coach Tom Collin named WAC Pacific Division Coach of the Year after this historic run, and the accolades do not stop there. Senior star guard Becky Hammond was named first-team All-American, while forward Katie Cronin earned recognition as third-team pick. Both Hammond and Cronin were named as first-team All-WAC, with forward Heather Hannon also earning a spot on the conference second team. Even with the roster filled with stars, Hammond was the clear bright spot for this stacked squad, breaking multiple school records, including an impressive 2,740 career points. Most career points per game, averaging 22 points every time she stepped foot on the court, as well as most field goals made with 918, and most free throws drained with 539 of them. 3-point field goals with 365 buckets behind the arc. And lastly, finishing as the school's all-time leader in assists, ending at 538. Hammond is a once-in-a-lifetime player, and the CSU fans were lucky to see her light up the Moby Arena floor throughout her 4-year career. Only time will tell where she ends up in the WNBA. If I had to go with my gut, I'd say number 25 will ball out wherever she ends up. Well, Ram fans, that's all the sports action I have for tonight's show. But don't go away just yet. Tom Isaacson is up next with all the tubular action and entertainment. Keep it cool out there, and I'll be back next week.
We're the Kids Club Kids, we just wanna have fun. The Kids Club Kids, to us being case number 1.
The Burger King Kids Club, where it's cool to be a kid.
Burger King has fun treasures for you.
I'm sure I buried the treasure around here.
It's your favorite Disney characters like Goofy, Darkwing Duck, and Bonkers on cool beach toys. You can collect all 5 one in every kids meal only at Burger King.
Gosh, maybe I grabbed the wrong map.
The Burger King Kids Club. It's a cool place.
Booyah, Rams! My name is Tom Isaacson, and tonight on our groovy entertainment segment, we have got a lot of great stuff planned for you, so let's get straight into it. And tonight we start with Fort Collins' new old high school, Fort Collins High, which is an exciting opening and continuation for students in the city. When the original building was constructed over 90 years ago, it was clear that as time went on, there would be a need for a bigger building to be able to fit the continual increase of students. So this fall, the new building is set to open and hold over 500 students. That is wicked! I'm sure high school students are totally excited to check this new place out. Now, something else that's getting pretty old as about as some CSU students here, is the Foothills Fashion Mall, a top destination for college students these days. The mall is celebrating 22 years in business and going strong. Originally built by Everett Enterprises and Westcor Incorporated out of Phoenix, Arizona, the mall stands on what used to be a 31-acre farm. Besides downtown, this is the shopping center for Fort Collins. If you haven't checked it out, it's got tons of cool stuff like Starcade Arcade and East Coast Pizza. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on these days, but we here at CTV want to know what students at CSU think about what is going on in the world of entertainment and sports. So I took to the streets to find out what students at CSU think. This is Tom, CTV Channel 11. Oh, I think I might want an interview. So NBC launched a new television series called Friends. Have you seen it? Have you heard about it?
No, I don't watch TV very much, to be honest with you. Like Friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
You're familiar? All right, cool. What do you think about it?
I think it's all right. It's not exactly anything innovative.
Like the reboot of the old sitcom?
I think I've heard about it. I haven't watched it.
Have you seen Forrest Gump?
I've seen Forrest Gump, yes.
Yes.
What do you think about it winning Picture of the Year?
I think it was well deserved.
I mean, it was a good movie. I thought it was good.
I think it's perfect. I think it deserves it.
You following the NCAA?
Yeah, kind of a disappointment that how we lost.
Absolutely it is. The semifinals are coming up really, really soon. Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going Gonzaga.
Gonzaga, they got out a while ago.
They did.
Yes, it's UCLA versus Oklahoma State and Arkansas versus North Carolina.
They really?
Yeah.
They were playing yesterday.
Are you sure? Have you seen Disney's new movie?
The one about the dragon.
Which one?
The Lion King.
No, I haven't seen it.
No, the Lion King, the lions.
Yeah, when I was like 5.
What do you mean? It just came out.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I certainly learned a lot from those students, although I'm not totally sure what they were on about with this 2021 stuff. That's almost 30 years from now. Crazy stuff, man. Now, some residents of Fort Collins may be familiar with the City Park train, a delight for little kids all over the city. The train, built around in the 50s, is one of Fort Collins' biggest landmarks. Well, the city of Fort Collins has officially bought the train to make sure it stays chugging. Being a part of the 83-year-old park, many have felt it should stay in operation despite a less than adequate safety record. And now that it's been bought, the city can hopefully maintain this part of Fort Collins history. Now, how many of you out there are fans of comic books? I know I am a fan of comic books at heart. Well, my favorite hero is back on the big screen. Batman Forever is set to come out this July. However, it is not starring Michael Keaton or being directed by Tim Burton. Donning the cowl this year is Val Kilmer, and he's set to face off against what seems to be the Riddler, Two-Face, played by Tommy Lee Jones, and more.
Wrong set? My bad.
Yeah. That was really weird. But in all seriousness, Rams, thank you so much for tuning into our goofy April Fool's Day show. No, sadly, we can't relive the magic of the 90s, no matter how much my mom wants to. Make sure you tune in next Monday for the sports show. But until then, my name is Tom Isaacson. Have a great night.